All right, Pro-Rel USL Championship. Brooks, you're going to be our man to explain this to us. But we got USL, we got MLS, USL Championship, USL 1, USL 2, and then what do we got after that? Just USL and
No, there's nothing. I mean, there's USL Academy. Much as you want to really talk about, does not exist. It's a big showcase. It does not really a league.
Okay, so what are we talking about for USL? What are we talking about for promotion and relegation? It's the championship, USL 1, USL 2. Is it just the 3 leagues right now they're talking about for that?
No, yeah, but I think what the overall what they want to do is they want to put a first division USL. They want to still keep a championship and then a League One.
So
So
they're gonna you're saying they're gonna insert a league between USL Championship and League One.
no, they want to put a first division league that matches MLS.
So they are going to compete with MLS. They think they're going to compete with MLS.
Yes.
Now the USL Championship teams, as we know, like Detroit City here play in Detroit, obviously with
Our
us.
second division, bro.
They would be second division. How are you going to determine who gets to the first division? Who's going to start out in the first division?
So they had said that wherever people finish this year, that's how then they'll decipher in the leagues how they'll decipher.
So how you finish this year?
But they haven't. It's not fully. They need to discuss that at the meetings, and it won't be really fully discussed if things pass on how things work out. The rumor was it depends on where you finish in the standings.
Yeah.
Is where you may end up if you're in the top division, second division, or third division. So listen, U.S. Soccer doesn't care if they brought in another first division thing. It doesn't matter, in my opinion. They really don't care. They'll be fine with that.
So let me just understand this. They want to make a first division.
Yes.
A new first division.
Yes.
Their current first division isn't on par with MLS, but this new first division is going to be on par with MLS.
I didn't say it'd be on par with MLS, but they want
That's
to.
what. No, you're not saying that. They're saying
that. Nate, you and I are going down the same road.
No, hold on.
Why do that? Why not just take USL Championship and call that Division 1?
Hold on. It's a legitimate question. So that's
well, you just move the teams up to Division 1. Some of those. That's what you like. You probably did the big C. So this is a theory. This is what I would think. If they continue with and they make some of the championship teams, they move them up into the D1 because they feel like they have the facilities to do it. Probably Louisville. I'd probably assume Phoenix. Detroit, I'm not sure because the stadium size isn't big enough because there are stadium requirements that you have to meet when moving up into the Division 1 pro level. There's requirements you have to meet with USSF. Stadium size, training staff, like there's a bunch of things you have to move in. So, and listen, I don't know if that's a slow progression where 2024 they'll do the Pro-Rel between maybe Division 2 and 3 and then in 2025 insert a Division 1 team. Maybe that's what they are looking to do. First Division Pro, same league as MLS, Division 2 Pro, and then Division 3. So, in theory, I think how it'll work.
Wait.
Yeah,
what?
Nate,
Go ahead.
Nate, go ahead.
You said same league as MLS. What do you again?
Like same pro division, like not MLS. They're the same status. It'll be the same League 1 pro, like Division 1 pro status. That's what it means.
Okay.
Yes. So they will have the same Pro 1 status as USSF gives MLS. They will just be a separate league from MLS.
That kind of makes sense. I see where this is going.
Yes.
And
then what I believe will happen is, they're all gung-ho. They want to start this in 2024. So I think it may not be like I said, Pro 1, Pro 2, and Pro 3 divisions. It'll just be 2 and 3, and maybe they have to work some teams in and get people situated. But what I believe is to fill gaps, what they'll do is they have a few USL Championship teams coming in on board this year in 2024. They have some League 1 teams coming in. They have some teams set for 2025 in both leagues, League 1 and USL Championship. What I believe is they need more, in my opinion, Division 3 teams. So I think maybe eager USL 2 teams that just play in the summer, they're amateur teams. If they have owners that have the money to do it, that want to expand into that third division pro, examples, Midwest United out in Kalamazoo, if that, act passes that they want to, where they're doing a lot of restructuring downtown and the soccer stadium comes with it, I believe they will make a jump to USL. And I've heard rumors that maybe things could be happening in Flint with the Bucks, where a new stadium may be churning here and may be in progress. and if they get something, then possibly, maybe, you can then move from USL 2 to USL League 1.
This all it sounds good. Everybody wants promotion relegation.
Yes.
It all sounds good, and I'm inclined to agree with what Danny just put on our chat here. Promotion and relegation can only work in U.S. soccer if all the leagues are under the same pyramid. And one league, with all clubs trying to get to the top league, which would be the MLS. And I'm inclined to agree, but unfortunately, we all know that the MLS is a franchise system, and you have to buy in. And I don't think
But
any
that's the kicker
single
here.
one
Here's
of
the
those
kicker.
franchise members wants to be relegated.
Here's the kicker with USL compared to MLS. I have to pay $500 million now to buy an MLS franchise. We're already at 30.
And I don't want to be relegated in any way whatsoever because just paid you $500 million.
Exactly. But if you want to start a pro team, now I have Pro-Rel, and that's something that's a little more affordable. Maybe my expansion fee for the top divisions, maybe $50 million. It's a lot cheaper to buy in, and now you're not taking as much risk by jumping in and expanding and paying $500 million.
So
you know what I'm saying? It's cheaper to expand into that.
Well, obviously,
and then
yeah.
to
Let's
build.
go buy a Detroit Bullets local team, and after
Yes.
10 years, hopefully we've built up, or Detroit City, right? Let's
Yes.
go like what Detroit City did. They started out at such a low level, and they built up, and now they're at where they're at. Instead of putting $500 million into an MLS team, right?
Yes. But I think this is a good incentive for USL.
MLS isn't gonna let. I mean, San Diego just paid $500 million to start in the MLS next year, right?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, if the MLS is like, now we're gonna have Pro-Rel, San Diego's gonna be like, oh, give me some of that money back. That wasn't part of the contract.
No, first the owners have to vote on that.
The owners have to vote on that.
Which
MLS.
do you think any of those owners are gonna say yes to Pro-Rel?
I'm not, or we're just talking about USL right now.
Right,
I
but-
don't even want to talk about MLS because it's not
what I'm
happening.
saying is it can't happen unless I don't think anybody's gonna take this seriously unless MLS is involved.
But this is USL being like, we need to stand out and we need to be different. All right, and then I mean, you give.
I guess.
Well, and listen, look what's happening in Europe. If I'm a big money person and I'm like, well, shoot, I can pay $3 million in the expansion fee. I can build a stadium and whatever in USL League 1. And now I promotion relegation to jump to 2 and then possibly get to whatever the new Division 1 Pro League that USL will name that league, whatever it'll be called. Now there's room to grow and for me to actually invest in my team. And maybe if I sell it, I may actually get more money for it at some point than I will trying to buy and build an MLS team to invest in and then trying to sell it to someone that's, that you got to pay like $1 billion or over $1 billion to do. So there's more room for growth, in my opinion, for USL teams to build their facilities and build out things than MLS is kind of stuck with some stuff, to be honest with you.
You're missing something massive when you compare Europe with all this. There's incentive for dumping in money, and a team. That's why the Reynolds and
that's what I said though. Now there's an incentive with Pro-Rel to dump in money for USL.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't.
Why is there not an incentive? If I can jump up and
tell you, because USL doesn't have the money that MLS does. There's no money in that league.
There's new leadership now. You don't know what could happen if sponsors say, "Hey, Pro-Rel's happening." Maybe as a TV contract, I may sink some money into that now.
What Nate's trying to say is
It's a lot of maybe.
no one's gonna watch. No one's gonna watch this UL. No one's gonna watch USL Division 1.
I disagree.
Let me know when.
I disagree.
Let
Go ahead, Nate.
I
Go ahead,
think
Nate.
because Americans have chimed in and have want this from MLS and they refuse to do it because the owners refuse to do it. This is why USL is attacking this situation and really looking at it, because this could be a game changer. And there's nothing more two organizations that don't dislike each other in this league than USL and MLS. They do not like each other. MLS wants them to go away. USL ain't going away. So this is interesting.
Nate.
I mean, you said it in the beginning where USL doesn't even have a development league. All the good players are going to play in MLS. All the marketability.
Not now. No. All the MLS Academy players that don't want to sit because all these MLS teams are buying international players that the kids going to have to sit and wait are now going. Look what happened with Josh Winder at Louisville City. Fidel Barajas left the San Jose Academy to go to Charleston, so then when he turns 18, he can be sold over to Europe. There's a movement happening within American sports. Yes, there is.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is. There is a movement within MLS academies where kids do not want to stay and sit behind players that they may not play.
Talking-
If they don't play, then they'd rather go to Europe. All of them want to go to Europe. So why wouldn't you go play for a USL team if you've shown they've sold players overseas and actually get playing
one
time in
guy.
video? What do you mean it's one guy?
One guy. They've sold one.
No,
guy
they didn't.
for that.
There's a guy for OCFC.
Two?
Yes, that
Cool.
Nice bought.
So
that
two.
Nice bought. There's been a few of them.
Well,
You know,
okay, so
You've got Barca Academy who have put players into USL and that have the Barca Academy in Casa Grande who are now getting considered for a lot of stuff overseas as well.
Talking louder and over people doesn't make you right. How many USL teams play?
hot kettle black. What?
How many USL teams play in a high school, college stadium still? How many USL?
That doesn't matter.
Oh, that matters, dude. That's the product.
So what I'm
That's the
confused. What I'm confused at.
You don't
is
understand the
there's gonna
landscape
be-
because you're not in the landscape.
There's going to
That's
be
why.
two.
You don't
two
understand
top
what
divisions.
they're
there
trying
can't
to
be
do.
two top divisions. There can't be. There's not enough.
Yeah, there
room.
can. There could be 2 top division leagues.
No, they can't.
No.
Yeah, there can.
I mean,
If people are willing to spend the money and that USL thinks they have a fair product and USSF is like, why not? There could be 2 top division
there's
one
always
programs.
people are always going to go. There's 2 top
Who's the
divisions,
best?
but who's the best?
Who's
right?
the best?
And Apple unfortunately came through and said MLS is the best. And
What
now
if
we are-
USL goes to Amazon?
What
And they're
if-
like, Amazon, what if we're going to do that?
Hey, what if
You don't
there's
know.
What if there's a third league that comes on? What if all of a sudden this? What if?
So,
What is?
don't-
What is
don't-
right now?
don't
Where
we
does
have-
Messi play? Just out of
Oh,
curiosity.
yeah, in the MLS, yes.
Okay.
Don't we have the same issue going on right now with the NFL and the XFL? The
Yeah.
XFL has been trying
this
for
is-
years,
You
and it's a different thing when we all go XFL. Oh, cute, great. The XFL looks nice.
let me.
But this is where the real men play. I don't think it can live. I like the idea of Pro-Rel. I wish it could work,
let-
but you
let-
need MLS.
Let me explain it
But it
to
won't happen.
everyone because I don't understand the landscape. How many pro-rel teams do they exist in America at all? At
There's
all.
none right now, but that's what
Thank you.
USL's trying
how many,
to change.
How many franchise teams consist in America?
So 30, we have 30 in MLS.
All
so
the
29,
sports.
So 29.
All the sports are franchised owned.
Yes.
What happens when a Division II or lesser sport that could be interesting and cool tries to? Do they ever topple the franchise? Has that ever happened in
It's
history?
really never been tried because
XFL didn't try.
I don't consider what XFL is. Vince McMahon is just a showman. And
Oh,
he
this
just
is
wants to do
XFL.
stuff.
This is XFL
He's
2
never-
owned by
I know.
Dwayne Johnson.
Vince McMahon and whoever else,
There's
they have
not-
never tried to jump the NFL.
There's
They
not-
have never attempted it because they
Yes,
knew
they
it
do.
wouldn't work because the NFL has everything.
Not only could they not jump, but the product failed. Now, has there been other different baseball, basketball leagues? Yes, there has. Has there been other different hockey leagues? Yes, there has.
No, there
They've
hasn't.
all-
Tell
yes,
me.
There has.
Which ones?
Yes, there has.
What
and
baseball
they've
league?
all
Between the
failed.
National and American League, who
All
else has?
failed. There's been amateur and minor leagues.
Name me
that have-
one. You just tell me. Name me one.
Do you want me to sit here and Google it, Brooks? You're being ridiculous.
Name
It's
me.
silly. You're being silly.
Name me it. And the back when
I get
baseball
it. I'm
first
being
started.
edgy now. I'm Brooks. Let me tell you something that's visibly not going to happen, has never happened ever. But you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe for the first time, this is it. And teams that play out of college domes or half Keyworth stadiums will somehow topple soccer $1 million built.
I mean, you're not impressed with Louisville City's built that stadium?
Let me ask you a question,
and
Brooks.
Phoenix Rising have a stadium, and
They
pretty
built
much.
some nice
Yeah,
stadiums.
they-
Just
yeah,
saying,
let
they
me-
are
let-
building stadiums and they're investing.
And what
but they,
happens when those teams get relegated?
they just
It happens in Europe all the time.
They
when
have
these teams get-
Hamburg,
They know the
Schalke.
risk. That's
the biggest
why-
fucking
Sunderland
teams
and
in
even
Germany.
Leeds, yeah.
That's why when they go and they vote, they come up with the system and the situation, and that's just how it is. Then if they pass the vote and they think this helps progress their league, then it does.
It will be good for USL. It will have no effect on the landscape. And I'm glad that USL.
I
did it.
disagree. I think there's more pro-rel people that want that in America because they like the European system.
I think nobody understands it. They all want Pro-Rel, but they don't understand the intricacies of Pro-Rel because, like, when you get relegated from the Premiership, there are parachute payments to make sure your business does not just
And it's
fall right down.
and
right?
let's be honest.
It-
It's
that
not,
those are the pieces.
let's be honest. It's not true promotion relegation, is it?
What do you
Explain
mean?
that question.
Which league right now today? Not ifs, not buts, not maybe if magic happens. Who has the most money?
Saudi Arabia.
No, in
In
America.
America? Oh, I'm
Oh,
of the soccer leagues,
MLS.